In today's video, we're finally gonna take a tour of the Storyteller Beast Mode. So let's go. What is going on, YouTube? Greetings from beautiful Utah. Got another spot on BLM land, nice and private for us to do this tour today. So I'm really excited about it. If you haven't watched my previous video called First Impression of the Storyteller Beast Mode, make sure you watch that. I talk about the outside of the van a lot, but since it's so windy today, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the van and I'll show what you really wanna see, which is what's going on inside of there, including the shower area. So let's go. Okay, so let's start off with the front cab area. This is obviously a Mercedes, so the comfort and style is about as good as it gets when it comes to a van. These seats are incredibly comfortable and the leather just looks nice. Storyteller added its own little touch to the seat, which is pretty cool. And up here you have all the Mercedes gizmos. This works really great with Apple AirPlay. I'm not 100% sure about Android, but there is an Android app on here, so I'm assuming it works just as well with Android phones as well. Let's talk about the drive. I've owned mostly Jeeps in my life and that Ram ProMaster, and this is by far the most comfortable ride I've ever had. Like I mentioned, the seats are super comfortable, but also the van is sealed up so well. You know, the Mercedes part of it, which is the front end, and then obviously the stuff Storyteller has done, which we'll talk about in a moment, help keep the ride in this van extremely quiet. Sometimes when this van started up, I don't even realize it started and I hit the start button again. And once you get on the road, there's hardly any road noise. This van has the same KO2 tires as my Ram ProMaster did. And people used to always kind of use that as an excuse as to why my National Park Edition was so noisy when I was driving. But this has the same tires and it's nowhere near as noisy. So that's definitely one of the cool parts of this Mercedes. It comes with these little overhead things. It doesn't come all the way out, which I actually appreciate because when it does, I'm constantly hitting my head. I was always hitting my head in my Ram ProMaster. And I know some people put the modification in here that allows this to come all the way out, but I personally like it this way. I like it where I can stand up here and I don't have to really worry about hitting my head, although I have hit my head on this a couple times. So even these ones can be problematic for me, but I like having them here. Like right now I have, you know, like a selfie stick stored here and an outdoor chair. So really cool. This is a beast mode, so this has all of the KC lights on the outside of the van, and it has these really cool aircraft switches. You feel like you're in an airplane or something with these things. The KC lights are super, super bright. They go for like miles when you turn them on in the middle of nowhere like I am right now. So as you can see, both of these seats rotate around, which gives you extra living space. This one doesn't have a workspace, which I kind of wish it did. Maybe something that comes up right here and folds over, because I would actually prefer to work from here. But this one works pretty cool too. So you can transition over here and sit here. I have my laptop here right now because this is where I normally work. Just whip out the laptop and go to work here. So it's pretty cool. You got this Lagoon table that is adjustable, goes in like this. So really, really clever design. So that's the front of the cab. Let's move on to this little middle area here. Okay, we're in what's called the lounge area, and we'll come back to this Groove Lounge in a second. But first, let's talk about the instrument panels up here. So the first one over here is the water monitor system, and all that does is provide a place for you to turn on the water pump so you can get water out of the sink. It also shows you the levels of your fresh water and gray water tank, so pretty standard in an RV. So the thing up top is the system you know I love. It's the Volta system. It reads like a gas tank. It tells you how much electricity you have left to work with. For those that don't know and aren't familiar with the Volta system in this rig is a true 30 amp system. It has 12,000 usable watt hours, which is a crazy amount. That's like 1,000 to 1,200 amp hours of battery. You can run the AC for like 12 hours on it straight. So it's a pretty robust system. It also has a 3,600 watt inverter, so I can run everything. The microwave, the air conditioner, all at the same time, no issues. What I've always liked about the Volta system is the ease of use. So it has this gauge here that looks like a gas gauge, and that tells you what percent of usable energy you have left. And when it gets down to 0, that means you need to recharge. This Volta panel is a little bit different than the one in my Travato. It has an inverter on and off button, which is pretty convenient. In the Travato, I would have to mess with this other panel over here to turn the inverter on and off. But in the Storyteller, you really don't have to mess with this. The next control panel over here is the Air Excel. So what this one does is controls the heat and the AC. So the Air Excel is kind of like a climate control panel. The panel next to it is what you use to turn on your furnace. So for your heat and for your hot water. So pretty simple. All right, let's talk about this Groove Lounge again. So I mentioned before that this is a Storyteller Beast mode, but Storyteller's claim to fame is their vehicles are modular, hence the name mode. And so you have all these separate modes that you can put your Storyteller in. Right now, I believe this is called work mode, or I don't know, eating mode, dining mode, something like that. It's just a typical kind of dining work table setup. But this thing here does so much more, so let me show you that. Real quick, I forgot to mention that there are seat belts here for 2 people, and you can fit in here pretty comfortably actually. And Storyteller says that this thing is rated way above what the requirements are for safety, so you shouldn't have any worries putting people here seat belted in. Okay, so let's start messing around with this Groove Lounge here and show you its different modes. So the first thing you do is you take this thing off, right? We're gonna come back to this though, and we're gonna use it. Right here, by the way, is the shower pan. And if you lift it up, you can see I have the toilet sitting in here. We'll come back to this in a moment. So as you can see, this comes down here, and you can take this thing and repurpose it. So now you have kind of like a little love seat here. So someone could be sitting here, you could be sitting here and just chilling and relaxing. I like just putting my feet up like this, looking out this door, and it's just a really cool view. So I guess this mode would be called the lounge mode. All right, so there's one more mode this thing does. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. And so now you have kind of a bed that you can lay on. So you can sleep on this. You can sleep another person on this. You can kind of work here with your computer. You know, if you want to just relax, this thing comes up more. So kind of like this. You can just chill here. Look out your back doors if you have them open. It's kind of a cool, like little chill mode here. I like it, I'm digging it. So I haven't really used this that much. I need to sleep on this to see how comfortable it is. But I think I would really like it because I like the smaller twin size beds. So for me, I think this would be perfect. So yeah, you've got all kinds of different options with this thing, which is what I think makes this van really cool. You can basically customize it to whatever your needs are, which I think is really cool. All right, let's check out the kitchen real quick. So we're gonna start off talking about the kitchen out here because I think the kitchen is up here, but also extends to this area. So outside you have this fold down counter and you can put your electric grill right here and cook. When you're outside, what I love about this refrigerator here is you have access to everything. So if I want to get a drink, like I want to get one of these keto coffees and drink it out here, I can just reach into the refrigerator. I have my little electric hot plate right here, cooking. It works out really well. All right, so you also have this little instrument panel here. So this controls the awning lights. If it was dark, you'd see those come on. It also has the awning in and out button. So right now I can put it out. As you can see, the awning's going out. I don't use the awning very much, but you do have one to work with here. Let's come up here and see the rest of the kitchen. So you've got your counter space here. You'll notice there's not a propane stove, which I love. Everything in here is electric, but you do have a little portable electric cooktop. You can put it up here, or you can take it outside and put it on that little table I showed you earlier. So I like that Storyteller made it really flexible on what you do with this thing, and then it stores really nice in this drawer here. That leaves this area open to prep food if you want without having your cooktop be in the way. All right, so you got a sink here. It's a deep sink. This thing comes up and turn the water on, turn the water off, pretty self-explanatory. There's also a bunch of drawers down here. I didn't mention this in the last tour I did, but there's actually a lot of storage space here. So you have that small drawer to hold your electric cooktop, but then you have these bigger drawers, and they actually hold a lot of stuff. I've got like cleaning gear in here, and then there's another one down here. Currently, I'm keeping plastic bags, the air hose, and the shore power cable down here. But you could, use it for anything you wanted. So there's actually more storage in here than I first thought in my initial first impressions video. I also have this little kitchen caddy that Storyteller sells. It's pretty cool. It comes with the beast mode. Throughout the rig, you have these USB ports scattered throughout. You also have 110 outlets. And this right here controls the MaxxAir fan. I think it's really cool that it's right by the bed. So you have the MaxxAir right here. It's really sunny, so I put the cover over it. But you can control it from the bed. So that brings us to the bed now. Okay, so we're in the bedroom now, but I forgot one thing about the kitchen, the microwave. So it's just your standard microwave. It doesn't have an oven in it like my previous vehicle, but I never use the oven anyway, so this is perfect for me. So this is the bedroom, this is the bed. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm 5'11", and because this thing has the bump outs, I can sleep in here pretty easily. As you can see, I've got plenty of room here. There's also these little lights over here, these push button lights. So that's a really nice touch. And, obviously you can look out the back if you want. If you had the back open, you could do the, the Instagram pose where you're, laying on the bed and looking out the back. But what's really cool about this bedroom is this is only one of the modes. This bedroom is transformable into 2 other modes. So 3 modes for the bedroom. Let me show you the other 2 modes here. Unfortunately, to do these modes, you got to unmake the bed, and I'm huge on making my bed every day, so this kind of hurts me. Okay, all the blankets are off the bed, so we can pull this out here, turn it this way, so it's out of the way. Push this over. All right, do this one too. All right, so this is the second mode. It's called work mode. So I can just lift this up here, and I've got this workbench here. I think it holds 200 or 300 pounds. It might be more than that, but I could definitely sit on it. So that's pretty cool. You got this whole workstation if you want. The next mode is called garage mode. So you can just fold this up. Whoop. Fold in the legs here. Latch this thing up. And now we're in garage mode. I could definitely drive my motorcycle up into here. That's one of the really appealing things about this rig. So I could have my motorcycle in here, protected from the weather, protected from road debris when I'm driving. And then when I get to the spot I'm going to, like this, I can just drive it out, set up my bed. We're good to go for 2 weeks at a BLM site. I've got my bed, I've got my motorcycle, I'm set. So I love this mode. Okay, so that's the bedroom. Now let's check out the last room in the Storyteller, my favorite room, the bathroom. Okay, we're gonna start down here first. There's this really cool towel rack right here. I'm gonna take this stuff off here though so I can show you this area. All right, So we're gonna start with the toilet, not the shower. So the toilet's down here, but this isn't how I use the toilet. So normally, the toilet is positioned like this on here. So when I get up at night, when I'm just hanging out in the rig, out here in the middle of nowhere with nobody around, I can just, it's at that level, right? It's at the correct level. So that's the toilet. I mentioned this in my first impressions video that I wasn't too crazy about this, but it's kind of grown on me and I actually really dig it. It's so easy and convenient to dump. Usually I just head to a pit toilet in a national forest, get rid of the liquids, and we're good to go. People always ask me about number 2. I do it Boy Scout style. I go out into the wilderness, I dig a 8-9 inch hole, do my thing, and then move on. It's not that big of a deal. Although, I'll be honest with you, because I'm in an area with so many national forests, I really don't need to do that. I just go to a pit toilet at the National Forest campground. Okay, so let's get this toilet out of the way and I'll show you shower mode. Okay, this is probably my favorite part of the rig, either this or the rooftop deck. I have a whole video devoted to this shower, so I'm not gonna go too in-depth on it, but I did want to include it in the rig tour because I think it's the best selling point of this rig. What I didn't like about Mercedes van, adventure van type of things, like the Revel, was the bathroom right in the middle that blocks the view. You don't have that open feel. It makes it very claustrophobic feeling. And Storyteller kind of solved that issue with their shower setup. So it's called a Halo shower and it's pretty simple to use. Like I said, go check out my shower video and you'll see a really in-depth review of this shower here. But you just turn these things here. There we go. And then you got a little shower caddy. You can put soap or whatever in this thing. You got a little mirror to shave. And this is the star of the show here. So let me take out this real quick. You just pull these straps, and this material here reminds me of like parachute material in the military or something. It really like wicks water really well. All right, we'll pull this out, and that's it. The shower is ready to go. It has these magnets on it, and so they just snap into place here. I'm not gonna jump in the shower and use it. You can check out that other video, but you can see how easy this thing is to use and store. You just roll it back up. It's really quick. It dries pretty quick as well. I actually just used this today and it's not wet at all. Okay. Fold this back up in here. So that's how easy it is. I mean, I take Navy showers to conserve water. So from the moment I decide I want to take a shower to the moment I'm done taking a shower is about 5 minutes because it's so easy to set this thing up and put it back up. It's exactly what I was looking for in a rig. I don't want a shower, a bathroom blocking the view and making it feel like some kind of cave. So this was perfect for me. Okay, so what do you think of this van? Is it up your alley? Is this shower like too weird for you? Maybe the toilet setup's weird? Or do you just love this adventure van? And if you had the money, you would definitely go out and buy one right now. Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you like adventure and travel, van life, all that stuff, make sure you subscribe. I put out a video every week. Thanks for watching. See you next week.